Good morning, students. I am Dr. K.V. Ramana Reddy, Assistant Professor from the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Sri Sai Ram College of Engineering, Bangalore. Today we are going to discuss about that module number 3, that is static series compensators. Here we are going to discuss about improvement of transient stability. So, improvement of transient stability. As earlier class we discussed about that improvement of transient stability by controlled shunt compensation. There we are injected that reactive currents into the transmission line. Thereby we are increasing the real power transmission as by increasing the line voltage. Therefore, the accelerating of that swing of the distributed emissions improves that powerful capability of series shunt compensation. But today's class here we are going to discuss about that improvement of powerful capability of series line compensation, which enhance that control of real power which is transmitted much more effectively as to increase the transient stability limit and also to provide that power oscillation damping. The potential effectiveness of shunt as well as other compensation and flow control techniques on transient stability improvement can be conveniently evaluated by the equal area criterion method. The meaning of equal area criterion method is explained with a simple two machine system which consists of one sending end bus and one receiving end bus with two line system, which is shown at this figure. So the name of this figure is a two mission power system with series capacitive compensation. So in this simple two mission two line system, here Vs is the sending end voltage and Vr is the receiving end voltage and Vm is the midpoint voltage of the transmission line. So the total reactance of the transmission line is X from sending end to the receiving end. But in order to increase that real power transfer capability, the total transmission line has been divided into two segments. Segment 1 is nothing but from sending end to the receiving end system, and from midpoint of the transmission line to the receiving end of the transmission system is called as segment 2. So in segment 1 and in segment 2, the total net reactance is divided into two reactances like X by 2 and another X by 2. The capacitive line reactance which is connected at the midpoint of the transmission line is also divided for the two segments as Xc by 2 and Xc by 2. As a part of the shunt compensation, however, it increases the real power transfer capability during pre-fault of the system and for post-fault of the system. In the same manner, here also we are going to discuss about that concept with and without series capacitive compensation as to transmit the same amount of power through the transmission line. So the dynamic behavior of this system for the case like with and without compensation for pre-fault and post-fault of the system has been illustrated in this figure. So in this figure we are going to discuss about that the corresponding phasor diagrams. If you see that the phasor diagram here, Vs is the sending end voltage and the magnitude of the sending end voltage is this one, and for this voltage the current is in quadrature at here, and the sending end voltage Vs is nothing but product of its current and its reactance, that is minus j Xc by 2. In similar to the sending end bus, if you see that receiving end bus, in receiving end bus the receiving end voltage is Vr. The length of this arrow mark is nothing but magnitude of the receiving end voltage, and its current is I, which is in quadrature to the receiving end voltage, and the magnitude of the receiving end voltage, that is Vr, is equal product of its current and its reactance, that is minus j Xc by 2. So in this case here we are doing that series line compensation, series line capacitive compensation at the midpoint of the transmission line. Therefore, if you see that voltage and current at the midpoint of the transmission line, the magnitude of that voltage, that is Vm, and the length of this arrow mark represents that magnitude of that midpoint voltage, and due to that capacitive line compensation at midpoint of the transmission line, here the voltage, midpoint voltage Vm and its current are in phase with each other. To discuss about this equal area criterion method, which describes about that real power and its load angle characteristics, here without compensation we are discussing. So at this case, the power and load angle characteristics prior to the fault, that is from an angle 0 to del 1, the power is increases at here, and the system which is prior to the fault, the power in the line, it is Pm. So after the fault, I mean from an angle del 1 to del 2, where the system is subjected with line fault, at this case the mechanical input of the system is, I mean generator, is constant. Therefore the generator accelerates and it increases that power. Hence the area A1 is called as accelerating region. At an angle del of 2, the circuit breaker of the transmission line has been closed. Therefore the system is deaccelerates from an angle del 2 to del 3. The deaccelerating region is represented with a letter called A2 at here. Therefore, the kinetic energy on the shaft of the generator, which improves that power to its maximum value even in deaccelerating region. Therefore, mathematically that power is represented here, it is P is equal V square by X into sin delta. From an angle del 3 to critical del, the power in the transmission line is going to decreases. Hence this region is called as transient stability margin region, which is represented mathematically as A margin. In order to increase that real power transfer capability during this angle, that is del 3 to critical del, we have to approach that compensation, that is series line compensation at this case. So this is that unequal area criterion method as to improve the transient stability margin for a simple two emission system with series capacitor. The transmission line which is prior to the line fault, the power in the line conductor, it is P suffix M, which is shown at the y-axis, that is Pm. At an angle del 1, the transmission line is subjected to the line fault, that is del of S1. From the angle del of S1 to del of S2, the input of the generator, it is mechanical energy, that is constant. Therefore the machine accelerates for an angle del of S1 to del of S2. Hence the region is called as accelerating region, which is represented as AS1 at here. At an angle of del S2, the circuit breaker may close and therefore it starts the deaccelerating the generator. During this interval, there is a kinetic energy at the wheel of that generator. Therefore the power is still increases under deaccelerating region. which is shown as AS2 for an angle del of S2 to del of S3. Therefore, from an angle del of S3 onwards up to the del of critical, the power in the transmission line may get decreases. It shows a region called transient stability margin. During this interval, if you want to improve that real power transfer capability through the transmission line, a series line capacitive compensation has to be done. If you are going to do that line capacitance in such a level, for example, the ratio of the capacitive reactance to the inductive reactance, if we consider here it is as 1/3, then the real power transfer capability in the transmission line may reach us to the 1.5 times of maximum power which has flown in the transmission line. So to discuss about that proof regarding to the maximum power which has been meets that 1.5 times of the maximum power under series line compensation. Therefore, let us consider that power P is equal V into I, as we know that, and the supply voltage here we are going to take that V is equal Vm sin theta, and the current flowing in the conductor, that is I, is equal V by R, and here we are going to compensate that line reactance, hence the resistance is going to be taken as a effective reactance XEFF. Therefore, the current in the transmission line conductor is I is equal V by X effective. Now substitute that the supply voltage V is equal Vm sin theta and the current I is equal V by effective reactance in the above power equation. Therefore, the power in the conductor is given by P is equal Vm sin theta into V by effective reactance. Therefore, if you multiply that Vm sin theta into V by effective reactance, then P is equal V square by effective reactance into sin theta. Here, the angle of load is going to be taken as del. Therefore, theta is replaced with del. If you substitute that theta is equal del in the above equation, the above equation can become as P is equal V square by effective reactance into sin del. The effective reactance is nothing but the difference of inductive reactance to the capacitive reactance, because here we are doing with compensation with capacitive reactance. Therefore, substitute that effective reactance, that is equal XL minus XC in the above equation. The above power equation can become as P is equal V square by XL minus XC into sin delta. But here if you take that inductive reactance as common, then the above power equation can become as P is equal V square by XL of 1 minus XC by XL into sin theta. The ratio of capacitive reactance to inductive reactance, if it is going to consider or assume it as K, then the above power equation can become as P is equal V square by XL into 1 minus K into sin delta. As to improve that transient stability during an angle from delta 3 to delta critical, that is del S3 to del S critical, we have to consider that the value of K, that is the ratio of capacitive reactance to inductive reactance, that is XC by XL, if it is equal to 1/3, therefore effectively we are going to increase that real power transfer capability and it is equal to that 1.5 times of that maximum power. So now substitute that K is equal 1/3 in the above power equation. Therefore, if you do that LCM here we got that P is equal V square by XL into 2/3 into sin delta, and finally P is equal 3 V square by 2XL into sin delta. If you simplify still the equation can become as P is equal 3 V square by 2XL into sin delta. 3/2 is going to be written as 1.5 V square by XL into sin delta. Therefore, due to that capacitive line compensation, the power, the real power transfer capability, it is increases to 1.5 times of its maximum power.